I'm going to put this version. This is the half-hour pivot indicator. It's also called fib pivot version whatever. Look how it just keeps bouncing off this. Now I just set my own numbers in here, and I stripped out two of the price levels. So now we're just down to the center dotted line is the pivot, and you can make that solid, and you can make everything else solid lines just by putting a number 1 in front of the. So the way you set this up is, and I think I can actually edit on the fly as this thing's playing back the market. 0 would mean a dotted line, and the number 1 here is going to make it solid. So R is for resistance, and down here support at 9. So it's just got like 9 levels here. Hopefully it's going to rewrite solid. See, there you go. So you can actually fine-tune this on the fly, playing back any market, anytime. It's also going to also have the 50 pip grid running behind here, so I would know where my targets would essentially be. Half-hour chart, I can't slow it down. If I slow it down any more than this, it's just never going to go. But if you can imagine, when the yellow lines get inside, just using a visual cue, you're looking at that and you're saying, well, that's right now the yellow line to yellow line is set at 200 pips. If those are 50 pips handled. Okay, now when that gets small, if you're on this time frame, so you're watching, I can't zoom in here. I'm gonna zoom in, maximum zoom in. So this may be a good view for the. If you're looking at this zoomed out view, this is a totally different. I think this is why people are having a hard time. People, I back tested that cipher. I mean, if you can imagine, you're drilling down to your trading time frame. See, here's a nice scalp. Look at this. Now you can just see here without looking at all that other data. See how it just popped in there. Now here you might want to set this indicator to completely different numbers. Now, when you zoom out and you can see, well, where are those pivots? Like, where are those prices? What is letting me zoom out? I just can't zoom in. Look at this volatility of this market. So you zoom in here. Now we can see this is Sunday. Now what's the trade? It depends. If you're running 50 pip stops, I'm thinking about getting anywhere here and ride it for 30. But those aren't good ratios. High probability of making money though. So can you risk 20 to make 10? Yeah, you can if you don't do it too much. It's like, how many times can you go through a yellow light and not get hit by another car? Well, if you're really good at it, I guess that's your edge. Here, very tightening up on the pivots here. So very quiet. You could have traded a breakout strategy right there. I would say when these yellow lines come together, you think about stops, and when the lines are wide, if you're not in on that trade, then you're looking to get in on limits for a retracement in the other direction. So all this chaos here is really a huge problem for that's why people say Forex is a scam. Oh, it's marks all over the place. So I run this on the weekends to remind me that the volatility is in constant change from going. Now look at this big move. Look how big. Now I can't slow it down and play back that one segment, but look at how out of control this market just went. Now somebody either made a bunch of money on this or they lost, and they just lost my indicator. I don't know. This happened last time I was playing it back. Now you just have to go to trendline mode. But that is really telling me what kind of order. Oh, here can be. I guess the math just was so off the chart. Here's a trend line. Maybe it was too small a number to plot, or it was too big. Maybe I couldn't see the yellow lines were actually, because I cannot scrunch down the scale here. So what could have happened here was when the market went ballistic, the ATR, the ratio exploded so far on the pivots that you couldn't even see the. So right now the dotted line is my. I can't get this sucker to. So if you're really scalping this thing, you get a half-hour chart and you want to have more trading, you're going to have to put these lines tighter together. So if your criteria for entry, if you can imagine being able to run everything from a 5 pip stop to a 50 pip stop in 5 pip increments, how many orders would you have running? How many orders would you have available at your fingertips at any one time to make money? Look how this thing's sold on this wick. See, they beat the shit out of this MACD canned inside of the MT4 platform. Look at them punish that. There's your scam there, buddy. Some cyber Bitcoin guy was saying Forex was a scam. So I said, well, dude, he says market's manipulated. And I'm like, really? You think people are trading it? You mean to tell me people are trading this stuff? Yeah, this will make it go up and down. So look at this. Look at this trap and bag. If I could throw that in on the fly. Look at this trap and bag. You get sell limits up there, and you get buy limits down here. The idea that this market is double bottoms don't look like perfect double bottom. There's how many bottoms? It's called, like, who's not trading a 3 drive and making a fucking pile of money? The market goes 3 drives, and people are like, you know what? Every 3 drive I do that. That's my gig. I got the 3 drive down. Next question is, how can you fucking load into this account for the... I just watched another video this morning where the guy's like, well, you never want to buy a market that's dropping. I'm like, all these rules that people have are just so ridiculous on their face. I mean, it's like saying, in a 2-dimensional world, I mean, yeah, in a 2-dimensional world, there is no... If you say, why would you buy it if it's dropping? Listen, if you're scaling in such nano amounts, and then you're a swing trader building a position, you're going to make a pant load of money, because you accept the fact that you don't know where the market's going, and you're like, yeah, I can buy that, and then you have these outlandish orders where you place orders at the double bottom. Look at this trap down here. Now, notice that. We took out the low yesterday. By how many pips? And then we rip up. Now, that's the trade that's going to make back... This is auction trading. That's the trade that's going to make back all the money you ever lost. So when this ATR, if I set the math really... Now, look how tight that is. Something's going to happen. Come into Asia. Breakout. Oh, I think they trapped the bears. I mean, yeah, they trapped the bears here. Maybe not. But you've already scalped out. Okay, I guess the math is just... It can't keep up. It missed the cue. I think Sunday night must have fucked up the computer here. Here they come back in. Look at how insane that level just went. Look at the dynamics of this thing. Is that a problem? This is like the band you're playing in. Every other note they're playing with a 20 dB difference. They not only go to... I mean, they play loud enough to kill mice. That's how loud your band is. How are you playing in this band? How are you able to navigate this volatility? You have to have burst orders. You have to have scalps. You're going to sit there and watch your equity go all over the fucking map when you know this is going to go up in the end, maybe? There it goes. I don't know where the market's going. But it's like, how long can it go sideways is my question. Don't hear this. Where's the topic? I said this to my tequila buddy. We both agreed one day. We can't go sideways forever. Can't go down forever. Can the market really go down forever? Are trends really... Can we really be a trend trader? It's ridiculous. You're counter trend entering anything you do. You have to buy... All the good trades are where people are getting trapped and it goes the other way. So the trap is the auction. Yeah, they ran out of fucking liquidity. It dried up. Market's got to go the other direction now. And look at this midday quietness. Here's the Asian trap. See, they trap the bears right out of the gate there. Break out to the downside. Not so fast. Rip it up. Look at them rip that back. So the problem is that if you're used to trading with a 50 or 20 pip stop, you're looking at this shit going, the news just came out and they run it up. This is probably just before the news. They bid it up. The news comes out. You're in a breakout. Everybody's like, it may be in a long-term uptrend right now. How are these people looking back at? You see people with this much data on their screen predicting what they're going to do today. You've got to be kidding me. Where does that mentality come from? Now look at this breakdown here. That was just a trap. Look at that wick. Did you see that? How are you not seeing it? Look at this. By how many pips? To make how many pips? Here we are again. This could be the big breakout. This could be the real breakout now. Nope, another trap. Sorry. Can't get me. You see the reason why people think the market's rigged? They're not thinking, well, where's the liquidity? Where's the next party going to be? And all this talk you hear from these disempowered traders, we got to predict the market. You're only predicting it in one direction. Then you say, in complete contradiction, nobody knows where the market's going. This is just a guess. It could go up or down. We could be wrong. That's why pyramid stops. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? Is it just me? Am I the only one saying, what the fuck? You just fucking... Now, okay, so you're telling me nobody knows the market's going. You can't predict it. But let's predict it. And let's just bias to, well, we're trend traders. Dude, the market doesn't even know you fucking exist. It may not share your opinion. You can't manipulate the market. So people that are used to manipulating people, like if you are a musician, you're manipulating people. You're playing what they want to hear, and then you're getting in what you want to play. You're getting away with what you can get away with until they yell or throw shit at you on stage, and then you're fucked, right? So the thing is, you know, we're all trying to be ourselves at the same time, accommodate a market that is literally fucking ridiculous as far as... Did anybody ever wonder, like, if the market's going down, why did it go up and then go down? Like, why doesn't it just go down, and then when it gets down there and it goes the other way, why isn't it done? Why does it have to retest that area? Why does it have to keep retesting? And why does it sometimes, like, look at this crush down here, it just keeps fucking tanking? But the cool thing about the market is that if you have a 5-minute chart running on one monitor, and the other monitor's got a 4-hour chart, if you're able to have a 5-minute mentality and switch to a 4-hour mentality, that is the power. That's where you have the other account that is trading the 4-hour chart, and you know that it's going to be this painful, annoying dating process before you can... You know, you can't even have sex before you get married kind of trade. And then there is scalping, which is basically being, you know, this sniper whore, you know, where you're, oh, I see this trade coming, fucking duh. So somebody asked me in the video, like, why don't you sell those tops? You know it's going to pull back. Well, I would say the same thing as this argument when I'm watching my frustration in watching these cipher traders. I'm like, dude, why don't you just get the fuck... If you think this is the setup to get to that, then you must have a trade plan on the way to your entry. You're already telling me, oh, we're going to get in here. Well, dude, if we're going to get in there, then can't we ride some fucking position to there? Look at this. Look at this trap and rape. And look how they... Look, this is pure news. Now, people say don't trade the news. Yeah, because this scares the shit out of them. But see, your sell limits are up here for the 1 hour, for the daily. This is a double top on the daily, and look at this entry. These happen in all currency pairs. But people aren't used to this. Is the sell when people sell here, they're short here. Where do you think their stops at in case they're wrong? And this whole time it's coming down, they're like, look at them up 70 pips. Bam. Well, not anymore. Now you're down 20 pips. You were up 70, and now you're down 20 pips. Okay? Nobody wants to talk about that trade because they can't accept a loss. So these people like at the disempowered trading people, now they got 24,000 subscribers. Read the comments in there. Blow your fucking mind, right? This is like people asking, well, so this car driving thing, what's that like? I mean, dude, if you have to be a passenger in the car first, I'd say if somebody was to trade, and that's why I'm doing my video, like I'm saying, I don't know where the fucking market's going. Do I have a trade plan for when I don't know where the fuck the market's going and I'm not a fucking predictorator with a batwing? Now, this could have been a batwing down here in this wick. What do you think of this entry? Is what, are you kidding me? So you sold up here in a limit, and here is your buy down here on a limit. And you got out at fair value. So where's fair value? This, well, it starts here, and it's this top, right? This is fair value. This top, this thread going through, this whole thing's fair value in the middle. So whether you bought here on this wick, you have a buy limit here, you have a stop forward here, and you get out here. Did that trade happen? Fuck yeah. Could this be a cipher batwing? Are you sitting there with your finger at the trigger going, well, I don't trade the news? What the fuck is with these people? They haven't accepted the risk. Oh, you know, you could lose on that trade. So you mean to tell me if I put a buy limit here at this bottom, see, you were wrong, they stopped you out. Well, yeah. That's why you would never want to sell one item in your store. Who's trading with one item? Then the problem is people say, oh, I got a great fucking trade plan. Let me go trade it on the guppy. And they're like, dude, the guppy just moved 50 pips in 10 milliseconds. Now what do? I'm stopped out. I'm down 500 bucks. Okay, just trade the euro dollar because it's hyper liquid. It's about as smooth as it's going to get. It's tight spreads, even on a shit broker. And just fucking trade it. Now, if you have a day job, did you have to fucking babysit the computer for this entry on the sell side? Could you have been wrong? And you were wrong for a few pips here, no doubt. That's about 30 pips of heat. Now, if you're in front of your computer, the ATR drops and you got buy stops here. As this is coming down, you're putting in buy stops. Plus, you had buy limits sitting back here because duh. When they say look left, I'm just going to save everybody about $5,000 in disempowered trading courses. If anybody's watching from me supposedly trolling these fucknuts, I mean literally, if you're dressed in a nice suit and you're telling me that, oh, and you don't even speak about risk. Look at all this kickback entry. This is one period moving average. Come on. This half hour chart, so you'd have to be a day trader, right? And this is fucking, I don't even know. This is April. Okay, this is like any day of the week in this market. This is April. I don't know, man. It's just amazing. Amazing. People can't accept the risk. Nobody wants to lose money. Well, you wouldn't you're trading to make money, right? So you have financial freedom. Look at this perfect touch on this trend line. You can babysit that fucker as it comes back to here. And does this trend line even matter? Because people say, well, trend lines don't work. Watch this. See, it broke. Look at that perfect double bottom there. Jesus. See, it broke. And then you trapped all the guys. Oh, it's going down. Well, yeah, there's some guy that's running an 8.5 period moving average on this thing on some fucking robot. He's got a trend line that looks like this. He's like, yeah, it broke here, and then it found resistance. It kind of made some money, and then it blew me out. Then here, perfect touch. Look at this. Structure leaves clues. Well, structure tells you where to put your fucking limit orders, you bozo. God damn. I mean, I just think it's a scam. These guys are scamming. They're either stupid or they're intellectually dishonest so they can have more subscribers. Well, tune in. We got another free webinar on how to trade the London Open. I'm like, dude, 100 pips stop? Well, what the fuck? Are they recommending people like this cipher shit? I backtested it till my wheels came off the fucking CPU. So, load the wagon on these ciphers. Are you kidding me? Load the wagon on your cipher? I don't know. Who's doing that? Trade. Just, I guess I'm a little bit too angry. But I'm just frustrated. I mean, I just feel like this, you could learn more. Like, if you wanted to play guitar online and somebody wanted to show you play a cover song, and some of that's disturbing too because the guy just doesn't play it in segments. He stops and tells a story about the artist. And I'm like, dude, that's like showing me a fucking Gartley pattern. Show me the goddamn tune. We're not married. Just do it. Hit me and hit it and quit it. So that's the fucking issue. And then, you know, everybody has an agenda mentally. Everybody has something they want to have happen. I like to see the market go up only because I used to trade from the long side in stocks, and I just kind of like, I'm kind of mentally warped as far as I love to buy. So when I see the market go up, I'm anticipating now, I'm getting in a little tighter than the completion of a cipher 5 months away from here, but I'm saying if I get in on limits and I get in on stops, right there's enough psychological angle to that entry in terms of being right or wrong. So if I put a buy stop in, it's a completely different idea than a buy limit. So I understand the amateur trader's view of it, right? Now, a professional trader would just, or a person that trades limits and knows what that means, that they could be wrong, but a stop trader could be wrong too because they could be being trapped. So we're always stuck with this. It's just like a chess game. This is a chess game. There's only so many squares. There's only 3 kinds of orders. Now, if each order has a reason, now you got, if there's a buy and sell order, now you got 6 fucking orders to deal with. 6 orders to deal with. Like, so if somebody comes in your store, I had a friend that was a really good purchase manager, and I thought, that's weird. He's not a sales manager. So the guy in the video asked me, why don't you buy and sell at the same time? Well, you know, you're sitting there. It's already bad enough. I'm trading limits with my right hand. My left hand's trading the stops. And my left hand's thinking, would this be a good place to get in a stop? Could I put stops here and walk away for 3 hours? Or is the market, the news just came out, I have to be in, or I could have a market order too. My left hand would be market orders and stops because a stop's a market order, in essence. A limit order could be placed miles away, but who would place a stop miles away? If you're babysitting your computer, you're just going to fucking buy it. You can see the setup. Now, the spread's a problem on a 1-minute chart, and people will say, well, I'm not going to fucking waste time making 5 pips. I'm like, well, then you're not a trader. Sure, you want me 50 pips? Dude, those setups come once a week. Are you willing to wait all week to get filled? Maybe you are. If you're like super conservative, now this is what I call conservative trading. You're going to wait forever for the fucking setup. And I mean, conservative means you're risking very little money, and your chances of getting filled are very little. And you're barely in the water. If you're an aggressive trader, you're fucking going in there hog long with $500 in your account, trying to get to $1,000 at the end of the week, and going, okay, now I'm going to trade like a person that doesn't. I mean, I'm going to have to put on a whole different persona and become another person. Now, a lot of people can't switch gears like that. So maybe, and of course, trading is a do-it-yourself project only for the sake that, well, they say it's lonely, right? Well, you're just by yourself. Well, I guess it's a control freak issue that if you're a person that has to like get the fuck out of here, I'm doing something, and if but the thing is that um, if you have a trading assistant and thinking in terms of some buddy that doesn't have a vested interest in making money, that's the best way to go. Then you have a person that can just say, "Oh, well, can I?" This now, there's no EA that I see. I did a little scanning for EAs, and I have a big problem with a robot trying to like. I want to yell out to somebody and say, "Listen, let's start moving stops or move my stops, move my take profits." So the market, as it's going in my favor, I can say, well, you know what? Don't move the stops, but move the take profits. It's a completely different situation. Because if the market does spike back, say you're in really big, and the market spikes back 17 pips, and you were just up $380, is anybody going to tell me they're not saying, fuck, I was just up $380 and now I'm only up $50? Now, if you're in front of your computer day trading this shit, it's a completely different mindset, because if you set orders and go away for 3 weeks and come back with money in your account, you never saw them make that sausage. So you're eating this hot dog. You're like, these hot dogs are pretty good. It's like, dude, you don't want to see them being made. So tick chart is just psychologically brutal. And in watching your equity move is psychologically brutal. But who has the discipline not to look, and the curiosity not to see how these hot dogs are being made? If you live right down the street from the hot dog factory and you're like, you know what, I'm going to stop by one day and check these fuckers out. Now you're looking at this tick chart going, dude, you're watching, the equity swing and you're like, oh boy, you mean to tell me I could have not eaten these hot dogs? I mean, so you just really, those two mindsets right there is so drastically different. And most of the stuff you see when people talk about, well, are you going to keep buying that as it's dropping? Like, sure, if you don't mind risking tiny amounts to make large amounts, the whole idea is that you're risking, say, a sandwich. Well, how much would you spend on lunch? $5? Okay, so you want to trade 2K with 25 pip stops and 2 orders. Well, that's lunch. You're trying to make dinner, trying to make $10, and you just place the orders out there. So I posted all this free shit. These people, they want to trade on some ninja trader. I don't even know what these empowered people are trading on platform wise. But even if they weren't trading these scripts, they could just be manually placing orders. Now I realize it's a lot of work, right? You got to go over here and say new order. Or actually, I think in MetaTrader you can right mouse click here and say buy limit. See there? Problem is, if I do this, if I right mouse click, I forgot to say this. I'm not trying to sell scripts, so it's not like I'm holding back information here and destroying my servers. But if you put if you're right here and you put a right mouse click, it's going to ask you, if there's no indicators there, it's going to ask you buy limit, yeah. And sell limit here, no buy stops notice. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know if you can set this to do a certain task. And so yeah, it's not going to let me do it, but I put a buy limit right there, and it's going to go, it's going to give me that awful sound, like you can't do that move. But I don't know if that helps. Just, another sad fact or reality is that because you're trading money, you can't see the market for what it is because you're shitting your pants when it does this wick here. I mean, if money means something to you, you will never have a bunch of it. Like I'm on Facebook and these liberal fucks come in there. Like, sorry if you're liberal, but I guess I lost a bunch of subscribers, but I don't care. So, but they say shit like, um, you know, what is, the risk, right? The risk involved. I'm like, well, that is, that life's risky. That's the whole, that's where all the benefit is in the risk. So it's very perverted, is what I'm trying to say. The market is not, it's counterintuitive. Oh, well, do this because it's doing that. And, I mean, so you have to throw all that shit out and just put orders in there. And it's a problem, money. Oh, yeah, no, the point is that the liberal people would complain about rich people making money. I saw it this morning on this comment. This guy's, well, the only way to go, the only fair world is a equal world, equality, right? Everything, there's the market's manipulated. I'm like, well, dude, and so he's like, well, in his premise is that, well, who's manipulating the markets? What's the shadow? Who's the flat earthers? It's the dark entity, the dark pool that's ripping off the retail trader because he knows this is an uptrend and he got stopped out here. So, and so there's this hatred, or this kind of people feel like, well, the bankers are taking advantage of us. Woe is me. Well, you'll never be rich. If you hate money, if you hate wealth, if you hate trading spikes, which are a pile of fucking money being made, look, granted the spread's probably pretty ridiculous at certain milliseconds here, but I've traded this with real money. So I know I'm going to get stopped out of some of this. But in the end, right, and the manipulation and the news comes out and the feeding frenzy, you don't trade the news? I mean, that is just, when somebody says they don't trade the news, I'm thinking, well, they're just afraid of trading. Maybe they shouldn't even be a trader. Isn't there where all the fast money's made? And then you hear, you can't make, fast money's bad money. You can't get rich quick. Yeah, you can. Get very rich quick. But you're not going to get that news spike every day. Yeah, waiting for the fucking news to come out. I don't know, it's a Wednesday or something here. It's also Wild Wednesday, too, right here on this day, on this week. So the liberals say, well, damn those rich people, and they won't redistribute their wealth to all the fucking losers. Well, they're never going to be rich. All these whiners are never going to be rich because I don't want to be that guy that hoards money. And then once they get money, they're going, man, I don't want to. They're fucking greedier than supposed. They're greedier than a businessman. They want stuff they didn't even earn. Now some guy's going to tell me I got a bad presentation on trading here, but think about it. Psychologically, if you're fucking down on rich people, how are you going to be? If you think the market maker's ripping you off, then you're never going to become a market maker and make all the fucking money that is sitting right there in front of you, doing what you're not supposed to do. No, you want to run with scissors in this fucking market. Fuck these pussy guys waiting for confirmation. Well, how do I know it's a double buy? You fucking don't, you dumb fuck. You just said in your video. I just can't believe it, man. I mean, I might live in an alternate universe. I know people got fucking technology. They got an iPad that's fucking mind-blowing. They can film a movie on it. But are we just becoming like IQ deficient? Reality deficient. You can't fucking see what's going on. Well, here's a nice cipher set up right here. Look at this trendline breakout as I'm bitching up a storm. Comebacks and revisits this motherfucker in a millisecond. Wow. Nice thing about the closing price is, look how the moving averages are built on closing. Another thing, any bozo that's got a moving average up, he's got to realize it doesn't take into account this wick. It's only looking at this white line and it's doing an average of that at that. What the fuck? 50 period moving average. Some guy sends me, bless his heart, he sends me this thing to this Apari trading thing. Oh my God, $97 a month. I love that. That's like a fucking Walmart price. $97 a month. Sign up for our course. And I love the signal service. Dude, if you're emailing me for this entry down here, are you out of your fucking mind? You gotta have your buy limit stacked up on this double yellow. And look how my pivot indicator's calling that out perfectly. Fuck Fibonacci. This isn't even this is just random fucking lines. I could put lines in here anywhere. You're just delusional. If you're looking at all that fib shit, I just come unwrapped every time I see this shit. What am I, the only fucking person that hasn't realized that the Wizard of Oz is just reverb and fog? Dude, it's placebo effect. It's in your fucking mind. Nothing's gonna save you from getting stopped out, you fucknut. So, you think buy stop entry is the way to go? Confirmation, it's going up. I'm getting picked up in the stream. Dude, they're gonna slice you and dice you a couple times, right? You're gonna get raped in the alley. But how big is the alley? This is the volatility question. Is the alley 100 pips wide or is it 5 pips wide? Are you getting molested, or are you getting raped, or are you getting cut up and frozen and redistributed in the river? That's always the question. And psychologically, if you're attached to money, you're fucked. So this whole thing about money, it's so I just giggle every time I see a fucking a whiner, a loser. Oh, it's rigged, dude. If it wasn't rigged, and then what's the smart money doing? What is the smart money doing? Fucking trading the market, dude. I mean, and it's like, well, and then I was on this thing called what was it called? And then people started to get all angry with each other, and they got rid of it. Was I don't even know, some Forex social group. And people are saying, I know where the market's going. Well, you know where the market's going. Explain this day to me, right? And look, the moving average is like, it's just like it never happened. Whatever. You don't see these moving average lines responding to this wick and putting it into the data. I saw this Jason, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The fucking guy that's doing the disciple of the other Jason. And he's talking about, well, you got to take your data. I'm like, dude, data? Which data? The high and the low, or just close? The 15-minute chart or the 4-hour chart? And it's like, you're going to build a cipher pattern off this shit? And some type of mythic... You should put on, Jason Greystone, you should put on that epic music in the background, you know, those fucking orchestras that are like 5 orchestras. Epic music. And just have that in the background as you show me the 2618 cipher. And then it's this poor guy this morning, I'm reading in the chat window. He's going, yeah, you know, that cipher thing, by the way, how do I get into that trade? Should I, and he says, I tried to back test it and I couldn't, oh, sorry, my coffee. I got to back test that thing, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I was literally had a hard time back testing that cipher pattern. I'm like, well, fucking duh, dude. This is like you back testing your ability to pick up chicks, and they're all like fake chicks. I mean, you cannot fucking, you have to have a principle. What happened to principles? Jesus Christ, people. What happened to concepts like, let's have a principle? Let's have a fucking, like, just, you start saying stuff like, it's like the religious people. Now I'm going to lose all my religious viewers. They got this stuff, well, they just throw out platitudes without attached to any fucking reality. What is that? Man, it's vicious to, like, the market is so dynamic, literally. I don't think it's even, what worked in the past for you may work in the present, but with a whole different size of stop to take profit ratios. And you're going to wish so bad that you had that 30 pip stop with that 80 pip target set in place, hard locked. Don't touch that fucking order. Or the market's roaring up and you're like, dude, we're going up. Now, on Friday, you could have gotten the euro dollar on the continuation here. Sorry, I just had to go off there. But this first target here was the trap, right? Targets here. We pull back a little bit. Look at the completely fill this void. So whether I'm right or wrong on this trade, the market could have plunged to the floor just the same. Could you have had buy limits on this 4-hour chart? Now, you don't have to be here for this trade, do you? Comes back here and touches that. You've got a perfect double top becoming a bottom. So there's 1 or 2 good trades a week for a 4-hour. If you're going to trade once or twice a week, high probability setups, double top becomes a bottom. Here you've got a trend line break. You're trading a triangle here this week. Trend line break, maybe you got in here and you can just ride it out. But see, if you had a money manager bot, you see how they trounced you? But you're selling in limits up there too. It's very difficult to think in terms of buying and selling and what are you going to do next. Now, next week, what are you going to do? Obviously, we're going to buy down here at the double top. Duh. Tops become bottoms. And maybe they don't. Maybe it crushes through that. So what? Do the fucking math. Don't just trade one ticket here. Why would even anybody suggest on these videos? Jason Greystone will come out with one fucking trade. And he'll say this kill zone. I'm like, dude, you got to pepper that bitch with some scalps. Are you fucking kidding me? And he's telling me he's making all this money. Right? No. It's just laziness. What are we going to attribute this to? Laziness? And I can just see the trend continuation traders right now betting one ticket on this idea. And who's not looking at this one right now? Well, dude, it's in a downtrend. This is a rally in a downtrend. Let's sell here. My targets are down here. Well, of course. Look at this momentum on the 4-hour. Perfect touch. Boom, 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 boom. Drift sideways. Stop hunt, right? Right to the 50. Trap. Okay, there's one more trap coming. Always the last trap here. Then we go up. All those hours. If you'd have walked away from that fucking trade, which I did on my swing account, so I got at the end of the day here on the swing account, scalp account, I got the fuck out here. Or that scalp ticket. Now, I guess I'm over trading and I'm really like a little bit too excited about trading, so I get pissed off. But if you have the swing trade and the scalp trade in one account, instead of having a separate account, right? Now, that's a whole nother issue. This is like having a wife on the side. So you've seen these people with like 10 wives, right? Well, that's fucking genius. Dude, we can't have one girl's making soup, the other one's making, the meal's ready faster, obviously. One of them's knocking out a kid, she's not off her feet, the other one's, you gotta have a harem. I mean, for all these biblical religious, why aren't you, if it was so good back then, why aren't we still in that mode? And, we got all these people that just want to be, well, it's just not right. And this is the moral conflict with trading. It's just not right. They manipulate the markets. Yeah, they stopped me out. I knew where the market was fucking going. And then you're in really big. So this is the whole problem I'm having when I'm trading. It's like, oh, I wish I wasn't bigger on this trade. Well, yeah, you know what? Anything could happen. Oh, no, not anything could happen. I've got moving averages and shit. I got Bollinger Bands. I've done this trade before. I've back tested it. Oh, no, anything could happen. And, of course, as it's happening, as anything can happen is happening in front of you, and you're watching your equity fluctuate, and you're like, fuck. So, yesterday I was trading on that, making that video, and I was on Friday, and I was like, well, I'm just going to fuck out of my winning. I could have got out, and I said in the video, I said, I could just get out now. If I was a scalper, I'd get out right fucking now. And if I did that yesterday, I would have made another $200. So the guy was asking me, why don't you sell into that if you know it's going down? Well, I could dump into that. Same thing. You could be a buyer and make a bunch of money. So if you're buying on stops and you're buying on limits, right there you have your brain split in terms of confirmation entry, and I'm just going to buy if it's cheaper. Market maker entry. Retail mentality and market maker mentality. Limits are for market makers, and right? Because if they're stop hunting, and I'm just speaking in terms of these terms so that, like getting stopped out of a trade, people would say, well, they hunted my stop. But all that really happened was the volatility kicked up so hard that they came into your price zone, and they don't know you're there. And but the market has a liquidity issue at those levels, and once it's had its fill, it's done drinking water and it's going to go run. So it's like an animal. It comes in, it gets something to eat, and it takes off. I got birds out here I'm feeding, and these birds do not chill. They come in, they grab a fucking thing, they take it to the branch, they crack open the nut. They are not going to hang out, especially if a fucking predator is going to come in. And so if the market's supposed to be this, and that's why we use Fibonacci, it's supposed to be an organic, natural event, then it's going to be fucking chaotic. In fact, those Cardinals, I don't know if they took the day off, but I put out Cardinal food. The motherfuckers didn't show up. How dare they? So, that's the other problem, is things don't turn out in the time frame we want them to. Like, say you got this girl and you're like, well, I just bought you a car and a mink stole. Mink stole, they still make mink stoles. And, you still aren't smiling? This is going to be a difficult relationship. So I'm going to buy this if it comes back to this top. But if this is true, why wouldn't I sell it on the way back to where I'm going to buy it? So if you're that good of a trader, you're so good at ciphers and all that, you surely can drill down to the 5-minute chart and the 1-minute chart and find the cipher and get on board that train. Well, the argument there is, I fucking would a 5 pip stop. I mean, somebody said that to me once. They said, well, I'm trading with a 5 pip stop. And I thought, but you're swing trading. You sound like a swing trader, and you're talking about 5 pip stops. I think there should be a qualifier. Of course, swing trading on a 1-minute chart means that you have a 5 pip stop. You're a swing trader on the 1-minute chart. The setup looks just like the setup would look fractally for this 4-hour swing trade, and you're out of this trade right now. And you probably, if you got out here at the floor, which was taken out, you're probably like, I wish I would have let some of that go. But I did say, and people call me, it's so funny, this Greystone guy, and some dumb fuck is calling me Mr. Hindsight. Well, yeah, really? Okay, well, I didn't fake the video I did, and I sat there and told you what I was thinking blow by blow, or what anybody's thinking. What any trader's thinking is like, oh, you know what? The bear's right here. I said, dude, gonna take out the high of the week. Did we take out the fucking high of the week? Did I say buy when we compress into this? Yes. I fucking traded that. Now, I traded this too. The night before, I didn't do a video about that. I traded that move, made money, dumped. And so I reloaded here again. As you come back to the feeding zone, the birds know where the food's at, right? And when the food is eaten up, don't forget this either, that when this price was hit down here, this first spike down here, where they stopped people out, the market fed on taking out this low. So when I said to this Akil Stokes, I said, why don't you just put a fucking buy limit here at the first bottom? Well, because the market could keep going down. No. Are you fucking kidding me? Why don't you just put a buy limit at this top and get picked up here? Well, the market could keep going down. Well, who's to say when you put a buy stop in here and you're like, look, I'm fucking a genius, and you have your stop here and they chop you out before it fucking goes up this far? And you're going to tell me that waiting for this confirmation setup, well, I got a double bottom. So what I did was I saw this bottom happen, and when it took out here, I put my buy stop here. Because I want to be on the safe side. Well, then why are you trading? What the fuck? Right here is so much going on. Why do people talk about this shit? What is going on here? So I'm waiting for confirm. I got my double bottom. Of course, he doesn't think this is a triple bottom. According to Akil Stokes, and you just have to read what he said and what he comments, he thinks this is a double bottom. I don't think that's a double bottom. I think this is a bottom here, and he would have got stopped out. But that's going to happen. Maybe you're short from this bottom becoming a top on the 4 fucking hour. A double bottom becomes a double top on closing price. And get rid of these goddamn fucking candles. People put up their charts. I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on. You got all that shit on there. It's like coming over to somebody's house to jam, and I'm like, dude, you got fucking... You can't tune your guitar with chorus, reverb, pitch shift, activators. You're gonna tune your... I can't even hear what you're playing, dude. You got 40 Gartleys layered up on your screen, and you're trying to trade the market? Are you kidding me? First, play an acoustic guitar, put up the 1 period moving average, and look at the fucking tops become a bottoms. Ask yourself, should I have a sell limit up here on this? Do you think the market next week? I just woke up so pissed off. I'm so sorry for everybody just insulted. I'm so fucking over it. Who's not got a sell limit up here for at least the scalp? And we come back maybe to this top. Can anybody see that coming? Buy limits here, buy limits here, all next week. Fucking duh, right? And buy stops on the quiet, right where we're at now. Are we going to see an Asian trap? Probably. Are we going to trap people here for a few pips? But maybe it's not a trap for you. Maybe you had the fucking brains to put a buy stop or trade the market. If you really want to trade the market, put a 5 pip stop in to make 10 pips, and you tell me how you're doing. What are you waiting for it to happen before you pull the trigger on a buy market order? I think you're waiting for the market to stop moving. Sit still a little bit. Let me get in on you, right? Let me go out on a date with you. If you don't poison my coffee, we'll see you on another date. So here's a 5-minute chart, right? Market gets quiet. Buy a couple. Every 5 minutes you're buying. Buy. Oh, no, every 5 minutes it's down you're buying. This is my view. I'm just saying you have to buy low, sell high. So where would you have bought here? Were you allowed to buy on the 5-minute chart? Forget these guys with this fucking cipher shit. I'm telling you. But they 20,000 subscribers, dude. 24,000. And one guy, the guy that was there all pissed off, they manipulate the market saying Forex is a scam. He's like, I just came across this video. And Akil Stokes, bless his heart, most fucking turn the other cheek guy's like, well, thanks for checking out my video. Dude, I'd be down your throat going, what the fuck are you talking about, bitch? But that's just me, right? This is why Akil Stokes can be a trading coach. Or maybe I can't. I'm just too pissed off. But it's like, we have to have a trade plan for what we see going on. Right now, you're buying on buy at the markets right now. Are you betting the ranch? Fuck no. If you limit your trading to pulling the trigger every time this market's down, can you not tell me that you're going to get a better price? Could you have bought here as it's going up? Sure. Are they going to stop you out? Yeah. Here, I wouldn't say this is going down. On the 1 minute chart, that's down. This is a doji. You could run a doji script here. But I'm not going to buy into this thing screaming up. They keep you can't see it here, but they're wicking that back. What if you limited your trading to, I will buy this doji, and don't tell me this isn't a doji. Anytime you see a bent part here, the pause, and you just keep smashing up. Now, mind you, we're going through the high of the week at that point. Place your buy limit here. As the market's marching down, every time it comes down, well, this is supposed to be support, right? So you buy here. Now you got buy stops trailing on top. Don't forget, if your left hand, just for me, my left hand's doing buy stops, I get picked up. If you would have made money if you had bought here on close, down at the market, buy and close. Don't buy here, it's going up. Buy and close. Now you're in 2K because you bought and you're in on limits. You're in a 4K now. And maybe your stop is end of the world. And you don't fucking care. This is not a lot of money to you. So you accumulate here at a bad price. Here at a pretty good price, as you can see in the as the market unfolded. It could keep tanking though. But you got buy limits at this dose, you don't forget. You have to, and the thing is, you don't, or you got buy limits here as they chop out these wicks. So you see the market makers chopping out these wicks. They chop out this order, they don't get this order though. You've got a wedge, the trend line to break. The market's going sideways right now. Obviously, you put buy stops here and sell stops here. Could you get trapped? Fuck, you're gonna get trapped. Maybe you buy and sell at the market right now. The targets are gonna be here. Use the pivot indicator for your targets. And I'm saying in terms of volatility expansion, top becomes a bottom here. You got time to jump on that 5-minute train for that run? Can you have buy limits sitting here at the retest? Are you running buy stops as it's dropping? Are you buying at the market? Are you making a lot of money here? Not really. I think we all know that after this big climax here, double topped out, if your sell limits were at this last known top, could it keep going up and blow out your stops? Fucking duh. Who's talking? Are we talking to like toddlers? When you watch these videos, if anybody's ever traded Forex in their life, even on a demo, who's not watching this stuff going, wait a second, I know those are pretty fib handles, and I know those are pretty fucking bullshit you're putting up on the screen, but how are we going to trade this? How are we going to get in there? At the market, a stop or a limit? I asked Akil Stokes straight out. He couldn't answer that question, but he couldn't wait to tell me that I make it stopped out if I buy on a limit. Wow. Look at this stop hunt. That's beautiful. 1 pip. And this is the biggest move. Trend continuation. So I'm going to buy in limits here. Buy in limits here next week. As the market's coming down and the volatility drops below a certain number, whatever that number is, or you just have buy stops here, it's mechanical trading blended with some type of view of structure. Waiting for a cipher? Is that a bat or a butterfly? Right there, your brain's split in two, and you've got your brain spilled out all over your fucking desktop. And you're like, dude, why am I losing my fucking mind trying to trade these fantasy patterns? When it's really about, is the market congested in a 20 pip zone right now, and something got to give? It cannot trade sideways for 20 pips for the next 20 years. Not going to fucking happen. Guaranteed. We know that. We don't have to predict that. We know that as a certainty is your computer is the fact that you need electricity to trade. So you got to get it. I hate to sound like I don't know. There's electricity now, right? You could never do another thing that's a little bit kind of weird if you're one of those Satan or highly religious people that believe in the devil and all that stuff. That you if you have this feeling that it's just not right that you're making money with electricity as opposed to doing some goddamn honest hard work. Damn it, dig a ditch over there. So that could be a real conflict, It is for me, being an artist in the physical world, to go into the digital world and be an artist is like, are you serious? There's nothing to hold on to here. There's nothing tangible. There's nothing to punch. So that might be another answer. Get a punching bag. And when you see a bad video, maybe I should do that when I see one of these ridiculous videos. But my punching bag is YouTube, I suppose. So anyways, I hope that helps. Is this guy that believes in the devil? I subscribe to this guy that I'm watching. This guy is fucking a historical genius, and then he says, "Oh, I believe that there's wind fairies that make it windy out," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I think I just I didn't even think wow." Like he's talking about that your consciousness exists after you're dead. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to trade a Gartley now. And then when he signs out of his, he's like, that's all for now.